Hey everybody, this is Candace Yvette with Blackwomenaware. First, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who comes by and supports my page. It really does mean a lot to me. If you all can please press the like or dislike button and subscribe, comment, or even email me if you have any suggestions, questions, or concerns. My email is always going to be in the description box. Again, thank you for visiting my channel. Hey guys, it's Candace Yvette with Blackwomenaware. So I had to jump in real quick and give this message. First, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for visiting my page. Thank you for showing support and being concerned about the injustices that Black women and children face every day in the United States. I really do appreciate your support. You don't know how much that means to me, especially because I myself am a Black woman. I'd also like to put this quick disclaimer out there. Do not come to my page victim shaming or blaming. You will be immediately blocked for that. I do not tolerate it. There is no need for it. And I'm pretty sure you knew what you were saying in the comment before you posted it. So be respectful. Many of the victims, their families come back and they visit this page. I am their advocate. This is their safe space. No disrespect will be tolerated. You all have a good day. I'm going to let you go back into the commentary. Every 5.5 hours in the United States of America, a Black woman or child is murdered. Stop killing Black women. Stop killing Black children. Wait, hold up. Now, before we get started in today's topic, I wanted to share one last but important and exciting thing with y'all. So I have been communicating with the ladies over at Black Femicide US, and this year's 2022 Black Women's March is going to be held in August. It's going to be held precisely August 27th, 2022. That's a Saturday, y'all, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We're going to be marching around the city. Yes, you heard me correctly. I said we're, because Candace Yvette is going to be in attendance, and I am honored to be there. I feel privileged to be there. There's going to be raffles. There's going to be food. There's going to be guest speakers. So if you can, please come out and join us. If you can't join us physically, support us virtually. Share and like this video. Share it with all your friends, or if you can't share the video, go over to Black Femicide's Instagram or their Facebook page, find this flyer and share it. I'm going to read their statement before I go into today's topic. It's one that, even though they wrote, I agree with it as well. So it says, we're going to be marching for the liberation of Black women and girls. We march to bring awareness to the issues that Black women and girls face uniquely and disproportionately. We march to honor Black women and girls and to discuss our plan of action on our future in this country that directly ties to our liberation. Beautiful statement. So I hope you guys can come out and join us. Again, the date is August 27th of 2022. The place is Washington, D.C. We're going to be meeting at the Washington Monument, okay? Washington Monument. So if you can be there, be there. If you need more information, just email me or send Black Femicide US a DM. All right, now it's time to go into our topic. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Candace Yvette and I am back with another video. This video is going to be a 3-part series. This is an interview that was conducted and took place on Twitter, and it involves some of the family members and friends of Ella Goodie, okay? This interview was conducted by Sarah. Shout out to Sarah on Twitter. Sarah reached out to me on one of my social media platforms and sent me not only this interview, but she sent me a second one as well, right? And so these interviews, like this one is 1 hour and 40 minutes long. The second one is 2 hours and some change long. And because YouTube, it takes me a hell of a long time to upload these interviews, I had to kind of section them off and break them down, and I'll be giving them to you guys in parts, okay? So shout out to Sarah, and thank you for all of your advocacy and hard work on this case, especially because at this time it isn't like Ella's case is There's a lot of mystery around her disappearance, and plus she's not getting the attention that she deserves on this case, okay? So, shout out to Sarah for all of her hard work. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you to your team. Hopefully, we can continue to work together on cases involving women and children, especially Black women and children, because as many articles and many stats and things have proven, women of Black and brown backgrounds do not get the same or equal treatment when they go missing. Most of their stories are buried, okay? So you guys take a listen in. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this interview. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. You all know to hit my email if you have any suggestions or anything that you would like to add to the content. I also want to put out real quick that I am looking for an ally or somebody to begin to assist and help me with running and operating Blackwomenaware. Right now I am a one-party operation. I'm a one-woman operation, okay? So if you think that you are cut out for this kind of work, just shoot me over an email, okay? We can go from there. You all enjoy the video, listen in, pay attention to all the good details and things, and be on the lookout. If you know anything, speak up. Here's the interview.
While she's trying to get Miss Morgan in, can somebody tell me, like, how do I know if somebody requests to speak, and what do I do when they do that?
You could make me co-host too, but at the bottom where like the mic part is, it should say like request. It should pop up saying like request to speak or something. I can't see it, because I'm not the co-host, but there should be a thing at the bottom that says like request to speak if somebody requests it, and yeah, you just press it and it should accept.
Okay, can somebody request so I can practice that and see if it pops up?
Do you want me to leave?
No, I don't want you to leave. Would you like to co-host?
I mean, sure, I could help. But I don't know like anything that much, except I made the poster.
Okay, Jen, at the left-hand corner, you see where it says one request?
I see it. Okay, got it.
It's really easy. Okay, Miss Morgan's here and everyone else is. I'm really just here to kind of run the space. Cajun is the one who is going to be doing all the talking.
You've got to be kidding.
I'm just joking, y'all. We're a little nervous about this spaces because we're really trying hard here, but details are very, very hard to come by. I had called Scott Police Department and talked to Detective Levier today to see who the lead was. He said they are still the lead, but they're still directing all tips and everything straight to state police. I asked him if the FBI was assisting, and he said the FBI had pulled out. But he was confused because he doesn't feel like he should be the lead, because that's just where she went missing, and she could be anywhere between Houston, Arkansas, Missouri, even Oklahoma. Who knows? So I called the state police. I couldn't get through to the number listed as a tip line. That was just a voicemail, which anyone calling in tips is not going to want to leave a voicemail, especially if they're a criminal or have some kind of history. You know, who leaves a tip on a voice line? That's insane. So I called, who did I call? Public Affairs and the Baton Rouge office for state police, and no information. She didn't know if the FBI was on the case. She didn't know how to go about getting an awards, like a reward set up. Nothing. So I just feel like we're running into a lot of dead ends. If anyone knows or has any suggestions on what we should do. I mean, I know we always say that, pressure bursts pipes, but I kind of feel like they've simply just cut the water off. So how do you really bust pipes? Anyone want to talk?
Hey, Sarah. There may be some people in here that aren't really familiar with Ella's case. So can you or Miss Morgan do like a summary of the timeline, what's happened? Now I see Miss Morgan. If she could tell us a little bit about Ella and everything that's transpired so far so that everybody can sort of be on the same page to move forward.
Okay, I'm just gonna try to sum it up. I'm just kind of exhausted with everything. So, Ella on March 9th went to give someone a ride to Houston. She was a Lyft driver, but it wasn't a Lyft transaction. This was something she would get on the side. She went to bring him to Texas and was supposed to be home before her kids got out of school, and no one had heard from her. I actually didn't find out that she was missing until 3 or 4 days after she had already been missing. Her brother is the one who initiated the contact to the police to let them know that she had not been seen or heard from since noon on March 9th. They put out a missing flyer. They were seeking information about her. The only information that they've obtained so far is that her vehicle was seen entering Texas, and later on it was seen north of Dallas on traffic cameras or whatever. And they did tell us that her cell phone last pinged in Iowa, Louisiana, which is west of Lafayette, towards Lake Charles. I'm trying to think. The person that she gave the ride to, Brandon Francisco, that same day had a court date from attempted murder charges, and I think it was carjacking or something. And he skipped that court date, and Ella brought him to Texas. I'm not sure if Ella was aware of his situation or anything like that. But she gave him the ride to Texas. Then we learned all these things about the guy. And we started just kind of going from town to town, handing out flyers, because we weren't getting any media coverage at all. There was nothing. When we would call Scott to try to get more details of, how we could search, where we could search, they really didn't have any information for us except for the ping. So my sister started traveling, handing out the flyers, and, going through the towns and checking in alleys, checking, in hidden spaces, just kind of keeping an eye out in case they see anything. My brothers were out there with four-wheelers, just riding along the median to see if anything had been thrown out. Perhaps her cell phone was in the area. Just looking for any type of information that we could find. that went on for almost 2 weeks, with them, a small group of them driving back and forth from Lafayette to Houston, and then Lafayette to Dallas. And that went on up until Friday, when Brandon Francisco was arrested, which was last Friday. And when we learned that he was arrested in Missouri, we kind of went to a standstill, because at that point it's like, okay, he's been through 4 states. We have no idea where to even go at this point. So those efforts had ceased, and we kind of amped up the social media spreading, and it's begun to gain some traction. More recently, we just kind of opened up Pandora's box on Facebook, with comments from, or posts and videos from a relative of his who had a photograph of him and Brandon together, just days before Brandon was arrested. And he made a post saying something to the effect of, "Don't believe what you hear. She was a rider. I respect her for that." And I'm going to stop, because I know I've been rambling, and I'm sure there's some questions.
No, that's fine. You can continue telling it. Just to kind of brief everyone, and then we can ask questions.
Okay, so we've one of the cousins' page, when we realized that he was a relative, we started digging through, and there's just so much stuff that we found. The most concerning thing was there's a photograph, and there's a young lady that looks like she looks drugged, and she's laying down, and there's another gentleman hovering over her. We contacted the marshal's office this weekend about it, or last weekend, because the marshals and FBI are the ones who apprehended him. So we called them first with the information, and the response was just, "Okay, but we're not on the case anymore. We're turning over all the files on Monday." And so we called Scott on Monday, and we gave them the information. And one of the initial response from the marshal was that the lady didn't look like she was in distress. And I said, "Well, she looks like she's drugged. That's pretty distressed to me." And we passed it on to Scott, and it was kind of the same response. That picture is what's most alarming, because it looks like Ella. We believe that it's Ella in the picture, and he's yet to be questioned, and he continues to make these cryptic posts on Facebook that leads us to believe that he has a lot more information. And I don't know, the police just aren't responding to anything. So I'm not sure what to do to, light a fire under them to get them going, because they're just not doing anything. I'm perplexed. I'm not sure what to do. And there's still there's the notion that, well, we don't know what her status is. We don't know. And to me, I don't know what the circumstances are either, but I know she's been missing for 3 weeks, and she would have never abandoned her 2 children. So it's very concerning, and the fact that Brandon won't talk, my head goes everywhere, and I'm like, well, it's in his best interest not to talk. No body, no crime. So to me, if she were still alive, he would divulge that to avoid additional charges. The fact that he's not saying anything is even more concerning. And the fact that he's fighting extradition back to Louisiana, which has nothing to do with Ella. He's not facing anything with Ella's disappearance right now, because everything is circumstantial right now. There's no evidence of foul play or anything like that. So I don't know if that's the reason why they're dragging their feet, but but we've presented as much as we could find. Like, we're going through different pages with a fine-tooth comb for just any little nugget we could find, and we are finding some things that I think are substantial enough for them to take action, but they're just not doing it, and it's becoming a circus. It's getting out of hand at this point. I think a lot of people are blaming each other, and the frustration is that law enforcement appears to be doing nothing. So
I think Scott Police Department is extremely frustrated with state police and the FBI. That was the impression I got today from talking with Captain Levier, because I asked him, was the cousin questioned? Because he was in the presence of Brandon between the time Ella went missing and the time that Brandon was arrested. He did not know the answer. He said, they're not keeping me in the loop. So, and if anyone saw my post last night, the address that Brandon was arrested at was a convenience store, a small grocery store, eatery. It was a 2-minute drive, 1 mile from his address in St. Joseph, Missouri. But he wasn't questioned at all, and he was with him. So I don't understand what's going on, how to make law enforcement care. I really am lost at this point, but this is typical of Louisiana. This happens all the time here. They never do their job, and I know that sounds, they try their best. No, if I was ever to go missing, I hope it would not be in Louisiana, because I don't think I would ever be found. This is nothing new to them. But I don't understand why Scott told me that FBI pulled out and state police couldn't confirm. They didn't know whether or not the FBI was involved or not. So, does anyone here have any suggestions or advice on what we can do moving forward? I also asked state police, how do we go about getting a reward, because criminals aren't going to call in and leave a voicemail. Criminals aren't going to, just, hey, give me a call back. My number is such and such. Is it up to the family to gather a reward? Who's going to do that? Well, we don't really know. You could maybe try back tomorrow. There's no urgency in this case for law enforcement.
So can I ask a couple of questions that I've seen floating around? One was that first of all, how did they know that she was supposedly given Brandon a ride? How did his name come up? Do they have a prior history? And how was it known that she was with him that day?
That information came from Ella's brother. That's what he informed the police when he went and made the report. My understanding is she met him through Lyft, and she had phone numbers for a few of her regulars. So whenever she was suspended from Lyft, her regulars continued to call on her for ride services.
Okay, and are you able to say why she was suspended from Lyft at the time?
I don't have that information. I don't.
Okay. And I also read a couple places that when Brandon was arrested, he had the key to her car Do you know if that is actually the case, or is that just a rumor?
I don't know how accurate the information is. It's been said. Just from my thoughts, I would imagine that if he was in possession of her items, they would have been able to charge him with something or make some sort of connection. Why would he be in possession of her keys? And also, I would have assumed that would have also been in the press release when they gave the information about him being arrested. So I can't confirm that, but I've heard that as well.
Okay, well, I also would have assumed that they would have put her picture in the statewide press release, but that didn't happen, so who knows? Do you know if after they arrested him that if they were able to, did they do any tracking on his phone to find out where he traveled?
Not to my knowledge. We haven't gotten anything since Friday informing that he was arrested. There's been no new information. It's been us contacting them with the little nuggets that we're finding. But as of this call, I'm not aware of any more updates that were received.
Okay, and I saw that her license plate was read in Houston by a toll booth for an outstanding toll at, where's the time? It was very early, 9:50 a.m.
On the 9th?
On the 9th.
Okay, I hadn't seen that.
And so if that were the case, you can look that up publicly on the Texas Harris County toll booth. I can send you the screenshots from that. Her license plate was read at 9:50 a.m. on the 9th. And if she left from Lafayette or near Lafayette, that would be, she would have to leave very early in the morning, because that's, a 3.5 hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be typical for her to be driving someone so early in the morning?
The whole trip is not a typical trip, so I'd have to say no.
Okay. So maybe because she knew him, it was, something she wouldn't normally do, but that she did for someone that she knew.
Perhaps. And that was a great distance to travel. I'm not sure what she was paid for it or anything like that. If that was what was enticing to her, I don't know. But with that being said, Ella, she's a little thing, but she is more than capable of handling herself, taking care of herself, and I don't think she ever felt like there was an issue. She wouldn't have been scared to make the trip. She has a weapon for self-defense. She's a little firecracker, so I wouldn't have seen her being afraid. She probably wouldn't have even considered it being dangerous, and I'm sure she felt pretty secure with her weapon. So I don't think the danger factor ever came to her head, because Ella can handle everything, so I don't think that was something she considered.
Sure. And since you're speaking of her, can you tell us just a little bit about Ella herself, her personality? You said She's also a mom of 2 children. Can you just tell us a little bit about her, paint a picture of her?
I'm gonna see if my sister wants to do that. Her and Ella were like sisters, thick as thieves. They did everything together. So I think she's the better person to tell you about Ella and who she is. And that's
She was trying to connect, and I think we lost her.
Okay.
But I'll request her.
Is she on a cell phone?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay, and while she's trying to connect, can you tell us about your relation to Ella? And you said like her brother is the one who reported who her brother is. Any relations that you feel comfortable telling us about?
We can hear you. Felicia?
So I don't know how this works, but I'm guessing y'all can hear me. Excuse my voice.
Yes, we can hear
I'm
you.
hoarse because I haven't been sleeping much. But Ella is like a sister to me. And I wanted to answer the question about why she got put off a lift. And she got put off a lift because she had a trip where she took a girl to Baton Rouge. And after she dropped off the girl, I don't know if Ella told the girl she was carrying a gun or if the girl saw Ella with her gun, but the girl reported to Lyft that she had a gun. So Lyft didn't ask her any questions. They just completely took her off. She went from platinum to can't even get on the app anymore. I believe she met the guy when she started doing Lyft. On her second day of doing Lyft. I believe the guy made her feel real comfortable. I believe this is the guy that tipped her $145. And she only took him from Lafayette to Opelousas. So from that day, they exchanged numbers. And he became her personal client. But I don't believe she had any connection with them other than them meeting from her giving him a Lyft ride.
Do you know what ties he has to Lafayette? Does he have family there or a group of friends?
He had a girlfriend right here in Lafayette.
Are you comfortable saying her name?
I'm not sure if that was the right girl, but somebody screenshot me of Tiffany Howard.
Okay.
Black girl, she seemed like she real educated. She got a couple of kids. I don't believe they're his.
Okay. All right, because I was wondering how he had ended up in Lafayette, what connections he had since he's from Mansoura. So like Kadrian was saying, can you tell us a little bit about her and who she is as a person, just so we can kind of, feel her character and who she is,
She's a real good sister to me. We're not blood. She's a real good mother to her kids. She would never leave them like this. She confided in me with a lot of things. I'm the reason why she started Lyft, because she was just backed up on funds and she wanted to make money before she get her income tax. So I helped her get started on the Lyft. She a really good person in and out. I could have called her for anything. That's why when I saw that she was kind of down, I helped her, and she went and started doing Lyft. In 6 days, she did 106 runs. So she wasn't even on Lyft very long before she got put off the app. But in those 6 days, she met people and picked up her own personal clients. We traveled a lot. I know the last time we traveled was for my birthday. We went to Miami, and she called all day long and checked on her kids. I just know she would never leave them. So there's no way that she just ran off with this guy. But I will say that not even a minute after they post his identity on the news, after they released his identity, not even a minute later, I was getting phone calls and people was telling me how this guy is a charmer and he comes off to be a real gentleman, but he's very manipulative. So I think he just made her feel comfortable enough to take him to Texas. And she was honestly, all she saw was the money. I promise she didn't feel like she was in danger. She carries a gun. So she felt like that gun would protect her. I don't know.
And that's understandable here. Most women do carry weapons. I mean, I carry one myself. How are her kids doing?
They've been really strong because, they focus on school and getting their grades right so they could get to the next grade. And they're getting restless, though, because it's going to be 3 weeks. They still never saw their mama. They never went that long without seeing her before, ever. She is their mom and dad.
Do they live, she lives by herself with the children?
Yes.
Has anyone, like law enforcement or anyone, went through her personal effects at home to see if there were any hints or anything like that?
I'm not aware of it. I don't think so. Law enforcement have zero urgency to finding Ella. All they were focused on was finding Brandon.
Okay, so that is the ending of recording number 1. This is a interview that was sent to me by another women's advocate. Shout out to Sarah on Twitter for linking up with me and sharing this audio with me. I am possibly going to be interviewing Sarah shortly or soon or in the future, or hopefully I can work with Sarah on future cases. You guys tune in for part 2. I had to break this series up. It is an hour and a half long, and I had to break it up because sometimes when you're editing videos and uploading them, it takes them longer when the videos are longer. So you guys stick around for video number 2. This is covering the Ella Goodie case, and the women who you are hearing Sarah interview are close friends and family of Ella Goodie's.